poppin', everybody? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Your girl is being consistent. But I feel like every time I say that, I jinx myself, so I'm gonna take it back. Today's video topic is going to be the hardest things about being Instagram famous. But I don't want you guys to think that I'm calling myself famous. I consider myself a regular girl that is the same as you all, that got fortunate enough to make a career off of being online. I don't look at myself as a celebrity at all. I go to the grocery store, I go to the gas station, like I'm super regular, guys. By no means did I mean that to sound as if I feel like I'm famous. However, a lot of people classify me as IG famous because I have more than 1 million followers, 3.6. A lot of people think like, oh, I'm famous. And I'm like, I'm not famous, but I get what y'all are saying. Don't consider myself famous, but some people do. So I'm just addressing these topics that you guys have been wondering about. So the hardest things about being Instagram famous. Really, guys, if you're not subscribed yet, subscribe. People think your life is perfect. Y'all, we deal with the same problems. Famous people, Instagram famous people, regular people, we all deal with the same problems. Money issues, love issues, friendship issues, like we have the same issues. It kind of hurts when people think that like what we do is easy, because if it was easy, everyone would be doing it. Everybody would have millions if it was easy. We're gonna just throw that out the door now. So next time y'all wanna comment on somebody who has built a substantial, huge, impactful social media following, don't call it easy, because you know good and well if it was easy, you would have done it. It's hard. And it's not only hard to do, it's hard to keep. When times change, trends change. If you go viral for something, people might not care about that anymore. So you have to stay trendy, you have to stay on point, you have to be willing to grow. Another thing that is hard about being Instagram famous, you have to rely on yourself for motivation. You don't have a teacher or a coach or a boss telling you what to do. You don't have a time stamp card telling you what time to clock in. You have to wake up and work. There's nobody in my ear. I personally do not have anybody that wakes me up and tells me what I need to do for the week, for the day. It's just me. If I don't work, I don't make money. I used to work at Burger King. I'm gonna use that as an example so nobody gets offended. I used to work at Burger King. You get a schedule like once a week. You work Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and you clock in at 11 a.m. and you leave at 7 p.m. And we don't have that as influencers and Instagram famous people who have built a career off of social media. We don't have somebody clocking us in, setting our schedule. There's none of that. It's not school. It's not where they give you a syllabus and you have to complete everything on a syllabus and that's what you learn and then you take this test. I know it seems super easy from the outside looking in, like all you do is take cute pictures, blah, blah, blah. Like I said, if it was easy, everyone would be doing it. People automatically assume that you're successful because you have Instagram followers. This is something that honestly bugs me because I'll get people that have bullied me in high school or middle school and they'll be like, oh, congrats on your success. Are y'all saying that because you see a blue check by my name? Because you don't know what I got going on in life. So the simplest thing you could do is be like, hey, hope you're doing well. But you can't just assume somebody is successful just because they have Instagram followers. You just don't know what somebody has going on. So I feel like you should never assume from the outside looking in that somebody just has it made. We don't have it made, we still have to grind. And that's what makes it even harder than being regular or somebody with less followers is people automatically assume that you're on top. So you feel like you have to portray this person or this perfection or this, level of success that you're not at yet. And sometimes it's a lot of pressure because we're around certain people and we feel like, oh, we have to be there, married, or we have to be making $1 million a month, or, it's not always the case, guys. Do not measure somebody's success by their Instagram followers. It's literally internal where your success is and career-wise and blah, blah, blah. Success could be defined in many ways. However, I just feel like Instagram followers ain't it. It ain't it, chief. People think you were brought up privileged because you have Instagram followers. So people look at my house or they look at my car, they look at the things I have and they're like, oh, she's spoiled. Oh, she's privileged. Who? Who's privileged? Everything I have, your girl has worked for very hard. I'm not privileged. I can't speak for everybody. There may be some privileged influencers or IG famous people, but you cannot just assume that, oh, they're privileged because they have Instagram followers. Nah, times have just changed. People who were, destined to be entrepreneurs have taken this path of, social media and making it a thing. So no, we're not privileged, we're smart. So give people credit, learn. You guys don't have to hate, you can just learn, I'm not saying it's everybody, because obviously everybody doesn't think that, but these are mostly the negative stigmas that go around IG influencers, IG whoever, anybody that makes money off of social media. You know what I'm saying? This one is tough. And I've experienced it a lot with my acting career. It makes me want to cry sometimes because there's nothing you can do about it. People underestimate your talent because they judge you off your Instagram page first. My whole life, I feel like I've been successful in what I do because I know how to work a room, I know how to talk to people, and I know what I want. I feel like it's frustrating when somebody does not give you a chance to present yourself and who you are before they look at your Instagram. Nowadays, I had a meeting with, I don't know if I should say this, but I'm just gonna say it. And the meetings went very similar. They basically said that, oh, we looked at your Instagram and your posts are too sexy. So we don't really know what we can do for you. Okay, I mean, to me, to just present that to me before you even meet me, is crazy. Because if they would have just met me and not even knew about my Instagram, I bet you they would have had a whole different mentality. And you know what they would have said? What's your Instagram following? Because they love to ask that. But then when you present a following, it's like, oh, you're not on brand. So it's like, you can't please everybody. And for a while, I was changing up my content, doing what I thought people wanted to see because this is what they told me. And they were like, oh, well, we'll review, your content. Just try to switch it up, try to da-da-da-da. I did this for a year and a half. That's not what they wanted. They'd give you busy work in the industry. It's basically like, it doesn't matter how talented you are. It doesn't matter how many followers you have. It matters who you know and who is trying to put you on. A big thing that you'll see in the industry, no shade to anybody, is people who have famous parents tend to get opportunities that people who don't have famous parents get. No matter how many followers you have, it doesn't matter. If your daddy's famous, that's the upper hand because he knows director blah 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 and he knows, chairman such and such. That can get you that audition, that could change your career, that could change your life. And I'm not saying that those sons and daughters are not talented. I'm not saying they're not talented. However, it's not about what you know, who you know. It's about who you know and who is trying to put you in those positions. And for whatever reason that is. Because 2 years ago, agents were trying to book people just because they had followers. They didn't care if they had talent. Now they look at your Instagram first and they're like, oh, she has Instagram followers. Should we even bother? That's literally how they are now. Because the industry, y'all aren't gonna probably think it, but the Instagram influencer industry is getting oversaturated and the content people are putting out isn't up to par with what these agencies are wanting. So therefore it's just, it's becoming a bit more competitive than it was, I feel like. But sometimes I just wish I could just introduce myself to people without them knowing who I am, what my following is. However, that's one of the things that gets your foot in the door is the fact that you have social media followings. So that's just, y'all might think that this isn't a valid complaint, but it really is. And it sucks, but it is what it is. It's hard to get taken seriously. Me saying it's hard to get taken seriously, it's okay. You look at my Instagram and you see me goofing around, you see me get hit by a wave, you see me, in my bathing suit on a beach. What I've experienced is people don't take me serious as an actress because they feel like I'm just living in this fantasy world where I just travel, and people always think that I travel all the time, and I don't. I just take so much content that it looks like I'm traveling all the time. What's that Drake song? What do you say? Yeah. So people automatically assume, and that's the worst thing about social media is people assume they know you before they meet you. So sometimes it's hard to get taken seriously because people they form an opinion of you via social media. So it's like you can't even speak for yourself because your Instagram has already spoken for you. This is just something that I battle with, and I know a lot of people battle with it. The comedians, sometimes people are like, oh, well, you were a Viner, or you do comedy skits on Instagram. That means you can only keep somebody's attention for a minute. And they legit say this. Like, oh, you do comedy skits? Oh, you're probably only funny for a minute. Like, okay, try me. Give me an audition. It's motivating and discouraging at the same time. It makes it hard being in a relationship. Having a social media following is very hard in relationships because a number of factors. One of them being, people are like, oh, well, why don't you date a regular guy? And I'm like, what is a regular guy? If I consider myself regular, I think anybody's regular. But I know what y'all mean. You mean like entertainers or athletes. Well, the thing about this is I once dated somebody and they basically used me for followers and clout. And I was so confused because I was new to the Instagram game. And I was just like, oh, he just really likes me because he's posting me all the time. If you're on social media, you know, like it's a big deal if your significant other posts you on social media. It's like very flattering. I was just kind of confused, and this was a regular guy, and he started dating one of my friends, and it was just like, okay, we see what you wanted, and that's cool. You wanted clout. Hope you got it. Hope you're successful in your career. But this is what makes it hard to trust the regular people, because you don't know if they just want you for clout. If you're dating a man with status, they see you as competition sometimes. And if you get more love than they get, they don't like it. There's very few men who want to see their women shine more than them. Very few. I'm not saying there isn't any, I'm just saying there's very few. Another one is it makes friendships hard because of jealousy and people feeling like they need to be in competition. This is high school, this is IG famous or not. Sometimes people see you as competition and they don't want to be around you because you're competition. And if they post you, then their people might fall for you. And they don't want their fans to go to you because they're in competition with you. They're not your real friend. And so it's very hard when you're IG famous making friends because you cannot always tell who's genuine and who's not. And I'm the type of person that if you're my friend, I'm giving you 100%. 100%. I'm not holding anything back until you give me a reason to. So I'm that person that lays everything out on the table. I'll tell you everything. I'll tell you all my business. I need to start having my friends sign some NDAs because I be telling all my business to my friends. But then I find out that they're not really my friends. And it hurts because you start to realize that, and it's not just LA, but it's a big thing in LA, you know, like people are putting themselves first, and I'm all for putting yourself first, but if you build a relationship with somebody, I feel like you should value that relationship and that person, you know, and everybody doesn't have those values, and it sucks because it's easy to make friends, it's easy to hang out with people, but to meet genuine people and have genuine interactions where they don't expect anything from you, you don't expect anything from them, y'all just having a good time, you don't mind growing together, you don't mind working together, you don't mind, you know, being a shoulder to cry on. You don't mind telling each other everything. There's a lot of people in LA you'll be cool with, and you'll go ahead and spill your heart out and tell them all your business, and they'll be quiet. You won't know a thing about them. I've done this so many times, and then I get home and I'm like, yo, I don't know anything about that chick. But it just, you gotta learn. That's why I'd be like, I'm gonna just stay alone because I'm gonna end up telling somebody something that I need to tell, and they ain't tell me nothing. Another thing about being IG famous is it's very distracting. The lifestyle, especially living in LA, it could be distracting. You hear about these events, these parties, you get these travel companies that hit you up to travel here and there. But like with me, I'm gonna just be real with you guys. I got distracted recently because I travel so much, and I haven't really been traveling recently, but I get in the zone with things, and then when I travel, it throws me off. And usually when I travel, it's like a last minute thing. So your girl needs to go get her license at the DMV. And I'm like, my license expires tomorrow. Like, I can show y'all it right now. It expires tomorrow. And your girl still don't have her California license. So guess what? Now I can't even drive till I go and get my license. I have to take the written California test because I have to, I currently have a Georgia driver's license, and I have to get a California driver's license since I'm a resident here now. But boy, it could be distracting. You forget all about adulting and you get so caught up in this lifestyle and just being able to get up and go to these gifting suites and go do this and this. And that right there is the devil. And that's why you have to stay grounded in what you do. And that's where the whole motivation thing comes in, and why I say that it's hard. It seems so easy and so perfect. And you're like, if I was in that situation, I would never complain and it would never be a problem. But you can't say that because you were never in a situation. Unless you were in a situation, then you could say it. I'm just trying to get y'all to understand it from an IG influencer, Instagram famous point of view. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying that you wouldn't be different in this situation, because you might, but for the most part, most people can agree with what I'm saying. This is a very big one. Being Instagram famous takes a huge toll on your mental health. And this is real. This isn't me being narcissistic. A lot of people think that when I say I'm getting bullied, they just roll their eyes at me because they look at my account and they're like, how are you bullied? You have 3.6 million followers. You might get one negative comment from a troll. Now multiply that by 30. And these comments are not even valid. They're just comments just to bring us down. And we get them. And I know, like, people think, oh, you have so many followers, you shouldn't care. Well, newsflash, we're still human, so we care. And anybody can act like they don't care. Everybody cares. And to me, I'm the type of person that I just like to understand things. So I get upset because I just want to be like, what made you say that? Like, what made you wake up in the morning, comment on my picture, tell me that I need a nose job because my nostrils are wide? Like, what made y'all say that? I know I always say that because that's like the biggest bully comment I get. But that's not even the only one. I get ones from like people that I went to school with bullying me still, with no profile picture, but I know exactly who you are. You know what I'm saying? Bullying is real. I have to take days and just not look at social media sometimes. Like, I'll post and go. Because I get that upset, especially when it's my time of month. I get so upset by any little thing. Even if like the engagement is off, we start to like lose our shit because we're like, oh my God, this is our job. If our engagement is off, that basically means like your boss is threatening to fire you. Like, that's what we feel when our engagement is off. We feel like our boss has came into the office and is about to fire us, and we have to really figure something out to make him love us again, because if he doesn't, he's gonna fire us. And that's literally what we feel like. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm a hustler, so if Instagram were to get deleted tomorrow, I'll still be good. I'll go get my job back at Burger King, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'll be good. Maybe not Burger King, but I'll be fine. Because success is a mindset, motivation is a mindset. If you're a motivated person, you're gonna be good regardless. But the mental health situation is so deep. It's so deep. Like, I've been in places in my life where I just be like, oh, I just want to get married and just delete my Instagram. Or I say like, oh, I want to go back to school and just do that. Like, I get in places like that, and it's toxic to stay there. It's okay to go there and feel it. It's okay to feel. You know, a lot of people tell you it's not okay to be sad. It's not okay to be depressed. It's fine, but you can't stay there. You have to be able to pull yourself out of it. And sometimes it seems like it's easier to just remove ourselves from society and not tell anybody what's going on and just, you know, be in our own bubble, but that's not always what's best for our mental health. So, you know, to anybody who goes through things or gets bullied or doesn't know where they're at in life or doesn't understand why they are where they're at in life, just take some time to yourself and breathe. Honestly, just breathe. Because I've been in some situations and I don't know how I made it out of it, but I think it was just because I believed. I'm just talking with y'all super regular on this video. No judging. We don't need any more bullies. So like, I'm just being very transparent with y'all. Like, I go through it and I feel like I'm not where I want to be at in life. And yeah, I might be successful to an extent, but I'm like, I'm still have so much to accomplish, and I get overwhelmed and I get in my head. And y'all, you just got to be able to pull yourself out of it. And I really have the past couple days pulled myself out of it. And I can say that I'm happy again. And y'all, it's okay to be upset. Just pull yourself out of it. Promise. It's okay. This other one can be very dangerous as well. It can be dangerous for your career. It could be dangerous for your mental health. It's just very dangerous. A lot of Instagram famous people are never satisfied. There's a handful. I'm not saying it's everybody, but a lot of people are never satisfied. Reason being, we constantly compare ourselves to everybody around us or everybody on social media. We look at the girls that are similar brands to us, that have similar followings, similar number of followers, and we think like, oh, like I want to be like them, or I want to do this, I want to change my brand and do this. We constantly and subconsciously compare ourselves to these people, and it will drive you insane. And something that helps me deal with this is I write my goals down. Write them down physically so you can see them. And then look at that. Don't look at people's Instagrams and compare yourself to that, because I'm gonna be honest with y'all, okay? Sometimes I will be having the worst day of my life, but me and Martin's my photographer, took a fire picture of me smiling ear to ear, and I will post that. No matter how sad I am, I'll post that. Yep. And was I really feeling that happy? No. So what do you look like going on somebody's profile and comparing yourself to them when you over here loving this person's family? And then this is what I have done before, so just me. That's what I'm talking about. Sometimes I will go on Instagram and I will be like looking at like a Instagram famous couple, and they just had a kid or they just got engaged, and I'm like, I don't even have a boyfriend. And I'll get so in my head and so upset. But then, like, her husband's cheating on her, she's unhappy. Guys, people are going through it whether they post it or not. People are not who they post to be. So something that can be very dangerous is, constantly comparing yourselves to people when they are not even who they post to be. Now, I was not talking about anybody in particular. That wasn't a real situation. It was a real situation, but like the details were not valid. So don't try to Google some shit and pull something up thinking that I said something, okay? Y'all mind your business. But yeah, like, you can't compare yourself to people. You gotta compare yourself to only the person you were yesterday. I didn't mean for this video to come off negative at all. I kind of used this video to vent to you all, but I really wanted you guys to understand from my point of view. I'm not the biggest influencer out there. However, there's people with 20 million and 25 million and 30 million, but the thing is, we all go through the similar situations. And I know some of my friends with 10 plus million followers that go through my situations and they vent to me. And that's why I wanted to do this video, because now I have a good idea that everybody goes through the same thing. And I just wanted you guys to know, like, everybody's situations are hard. That's why I did this video. I did this video because I didn't want you to think that it is easy. Like, just because you live a different lifestyle, or just because somebody's rich and somebody's middle class and somebody's poor, like, mentally, that doesn't mean a thing. Everybody has different stressors in their life. Like, some people can stress about money, some people can stress about love. But I just wanted to, talk about a specific topic with you all. And I hope that resonated with a lot of you, and you can kind of look at the Instagram community a little bit differently and just respect it. Respect that people work hard for it, and it's not easy, and we grind every day to keep it active and stay motivated and keep y'all entertained. Because at the end of the day, like, yeah, we're doing it for us, but we wouldn't be anything without the people that support us and follow us. So really, we're doing it for you, and then we have our benefit of it, So I just wanted to take this time to thank everybody sincerely who follows me. I'm grateful of the life I live. Very grateful. It might be stressful, but it's all worth it. It's my calling, and I will fulfill it and live it and own it and forever be grateful. So again, thank you guys for tuning in, and make sure that you subscribe, make sure that you leave a comment, and make sure you give me a thumbs up. And I'll see you guys next video.